Well, hello, folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Massachusetts Central Radio Show. Here with your humble announcer, your humble announcer with no name, here for episode 24. Hello, everybody, and I will be giving you off to your humble host, Mike Mo, here on Veterans Day, here on November 11th, 2019. Hello, folks, and I will see you guys at the beginning of the next episode. And here's your humble host, Mike Mo, with the broadcast. Well, hello everyone, and yes, as the radio announcer, voiced by me, of course, said, it is Veterans Day. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another of these with episode 24 of the Massachusetts Central Radio Show. We are 24 episodes strong here in the new season. So yes, today is Veterans Day, and on this day, we celebrate and remember the lives of heroes that have come and gone, well, not come and gone, but have, and for those of you, and for those that are still living, veterans that are still living and still among us, remembrance of their service, and dedicating this day to remembering the sacrifices they made to go over to fight for our country, for our freedom and our rights to stay a free nation. Obviously at the cost to themselves, unfortunately, at some level, which is a sad thing, and it's, as they say, war is hell, and I don't know what type of hell that is because I never fought in a war, but it's one of those things. But I want to just pray in remembrance to those souls who have come and passed. My military history, well, speaking of veterans, my military history in my family is my great Uncle Bill. Great Uncle Bill, very prolific guy. He was he was very much into construction, but before that, he ended up serving as a CV in the Navy back in the 40s in the Pacific Theater. Saw a lot of action. He was stationed on one island in Eniwetok. It's within Eniwetok with an E. And he built the Bailey Bridges, barracks, and everything else for his troops. Served many years, and then he ended up, I think he ended up getting discharged because he was he was hurt by shrapnel from gunfire from an enemy Zero, so he almost actually died in combat, actually, while sleeping. But he somehow, years later, my dad told me that he heard the Zero coming, and he ended up jumping out of his bunk just in the nick of time, or he would have been cut down the middle with the Japanese machine guns. Unfortunately, he got hurt by shrapnel, and he was sent home. He had discharged. He served his time. He did very well. He was very well known amongst his platoon members, and he served well for the years he was. Unfortunately, he was injured. He did come back home, and and of course, he settled down, and he settled down the Cape following the war. And I hear a lot of veterans from the Massachusetts area actually settled down the Cape after the war to find peace and such, where he and his wife, Madison, his wife, settled down there, and I knew both of them, I knew Bill very well up until the day he died. In fact, my dad and mom say that I actually have a lot of his mental abilities. Like, I use logic I'm very logical, and I think very well when my brain's actually working. I think his brain was a little different than most people's. Well, you have to be when you're in construction. I think that's where I got the logic and the outside the box thinking from, because if you want to build something, you have to think outside the box and be able to do what you need to build. My grandfather, Anthony Joseph Dominicucci, was a Korean War vet. He served as a bomber in the Air Force in Korea from, I think, like 1950 to 1952, and then he ended up coming back over here, and he served his country well, and he came back over here, ended up marrying my grandmother, Claire Dominicucci. Claire Cochran, who ended up becoming Claire Dominicucci, and I probably wouldn't exist because my mother came from a family of nine kids. So yes, my grandfather actually had the most conversation with me about his time during the war, because my great uncle Bill died was a lot older than my grandfather at the time. Bill was like in his 80s, I think, and I remember sitting on his. I remember as a little guy going into his room in the resting home that he used to be in, and in the old rest homes, after they ended up figuring out that they couldn't live on their own. Him and his wife Maddie were in a retirement home, retirement home, and he ended up living out his life. I think I remember shaking his hand a couple of times, and I remember when he passed away, mid-90s. I actually remember the funeral and everything, like it was yesterday. It was weird. And then I think his wife passed, I think, a year or two later, Madison, who was my great aunt, I think. Maddie was a good soul, and so was Bill. So that's where I got a lot of, as I said, that's where I got a lot of my logic and thinking from, even though a lot of people don't think I have it. So, there's two important people, and I just want to say thanks to all those veterans out there. I know there's a lot of veterans in the Phantom Menace who are subscribed to me. There's TJ Shellback and Chris Knight, a few others. Thank you for your service. I know listening to the stream the other night, you guys paid a dear price for that service. And I hope you guys find the strength to continue on. From what you guys said, it's not easy coming back from the war and seeing all the horrific stuff that I will never know in my lifetime. But I hope you guys find the clarity and everything in life. You guys definitely, I definitely wish you guys well and pray for you guys every day that you guys survive, and you guys live to tell the tale to many other people of the hulls and the after effects of war, because it is important, and everything else. I also dedicate this video to the soul of Thomas's grandfather, Richard Sutherland, who fought and who was actually second-hand man to General MacArthur in World War II. And my soul, my thoughts and my prayers go out to my thoughts and my wishes go out to his soul, that he stays straight, that, his time in heaven and everything. Because he also helped win the war and helped with a lot of the ordering back then, especially if you're under General MacArthur. I just want to dedicate this minute that I have coming up to the souls of those people who laid down the sacrifices, those two still serving, and those still trying to, thoughts and prayers go out to those who have served and paid the ultimate price whether it be through PTSD or some sort of mental disability that God will give them the power to guide them and keep them strong. And they are strong men after hearing their stories of their everything. So for the next minute, I'm going to give everybody a minute of silence, starting right now for those of all I've just mentioned. Sorry now. Yeah. Sure. I wanted to give that tribute, that 1 minute tribute to the veterans out there who are living and who have deceased. Those of you who have made this great sacrifice, especially all those in heaven, and to those souls that perished through unfortunate means, I also lay remembrance to you people, because hundreds beyond hundreds, well, hundreds of thousands of people over the years have given, men and women have given their lives to keep us a strong country, a free country, and to show the world that you do not mess with the United States on any level. So yes, sorry if this is a smaller episode, people, but I will end up seeing you guys in the next episode on Wednesday. I'm actually off that day again because I have an eye doctor's appointment. I will definitely do one of these earlier when my eyes settle again. I think I have an appointment at like 10:30, so I'll definitely be good around 4 or 5 o'clock, and maybe I'll shoot an episode early. So yes, everybody, the Shumble host Mike Camo here for another, here on Veterans Day, here for another episode 24. As usual, everybody, long live America, God bless America, long live democracy, long live our freedoms, our rights. Pray for the souls of all those who have fought for us, made the great sacrifices, whatever that sacrifice was, and pray that God will guide those who are trying to find clarity in their life and are trying to make peace with themselves after fighting and all those other things. Hopefully you'll guide them and keep them strong, because that does matter in life. So, and thank you to all the veterans out there on this day for your service. And as I said, hopefully God will keep you strong and find the power to keep you guys uplifting and stuff. It's a hard fight, but I'm praying that God will help you find and keep that fight going. Peace out, everybody. And this is the broadcast for tonight here on Veterans Day.